Hello, I'm Lowell Martin, and this is MCC Today. Get ready. On today's show, we have Kim Rush, Jennifer Whitlock, Kelly McKee, and Jessi Beckman. You are going to learn a lot. Do not touch that dial.
Find your wings. It's more than just a hashtag.
It's the power of knowledge in our state-of-the-art classrooms.
It's skills training for a competitive job market.
It's the best nursing program in the state.
It's home runs, buzzer beaters, and the thrill of victory.
And MCC walks it off.
It's not just a hashtag. How do I know? Because I found my wings.
And we are here with the wonderful Miss Kelly McKee and Miss Jessi Beckman. We have tried all semester to get all of us on camera together on this program. And finally, the last show of the semester, we're able to do it. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, both of you work in the Student Success Center, and you work in the English lab part of the Student Success Center, and you work in the math lab part of the Student Success Center. So what do you do in the English lab part?
Well, in the English lab, students who are enrolled in intermediate English and our class called Enhanced English Composition are required to come to the English lab each week for an hour to do any material for their course, but the reason they're required to come and do it in the lab is so that I will be there to help them if they have questions.
Okay, so 1 hour per week for those particular classes.
Yes.
They must come, and they get a grade for that, don't they?
Yes, it is part of their grade in their English course.
Okay, and now what do you do with the math lab?
So very similar to Ms. McKee, I'm there to help the enhanced college algebra and enhanced intermediate algebra students, but all the way up to college algebra. The enhanced are the only ones that are required to come for an hour a week, but I'll help any of them that come up to college algebra, and I'm there for assistance if they need one-on-one help. We also offer tutoring. Some of our student workers are tutors, so yeah.
So if anyone needs help in English or in math, there is no reason that they cannot get help in English and math. And you say that you know, specifically the students have to come for their English lab portion of the class, but we don't turn away other students.
Oh, no, of course not. And like Jessi said, she helps all the way up through college algebra. Same thing with English. Students who are in a class like English Comp 1, English Comp 2, literature courses, even though they're not required to come to the lab, if they come in and seek help, you know, I can help them with a paper or other assignment. Sometimes it's helpful to go over graded papers with students because if they can see why they missed what they did, then they can maybe do better on the next paper. And if I'm not available because I'm helping intermediate students at the time, we have other instructors who work in the lab, and like she said, we have student tutors who work in the Success Lab. So yeah, there's no reason not to come and try to get some help.
And with the math, they have a, you know, as with English, they have a certain amount of material they have to complete for each module or each section. And you actually sit and assist them if they need the help. If they don't understand something, you're there for them.
Right, and they can raise their hand while they're working, and I'll come and help them, and I can sit with them one-on-one, or if it's just one problem, I can walk them through it. So yeah, I really enjoy helping the students.
And you've been doing it for how long now?
Ooh, I guess 3 years.
Okay.
But it's flown by.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you've been doing it in the English lab for how
7.
long now? 7 years now. Oh my goodness. But now the English lab and the math lab, there used to be separate areas, but now everything is in the Success Center. And the million-dollar question is, what do you think of your boss?
He's magnificent.
He's absolutely
best.
wonderful. The best boss ever. I'm the boss.
I agree.
But we do all get along, and we all have a really good time with helping the students. Now, one question though that we get a lot is, and I'm just going to ask this point blank, proofreading papers. Okay, so how do we handle a paper that we've been given and someone comes and says, hey, will you look at this for me?
Okay, I guess there's a difference between look at this for me and with me.
Okay.
Because we cannot just proofread and edit a student's paper for him or her. But I will go over a paper with a student and help the student proofread and point out certain things that the student can do to check for particular errors. Sometimes if I notice 1 or 2 main errors in the paper, I can show how to correct those and then let the student kind of go through the rest looking for that same error, you know.
And I've heard you literally say things like, well, okay, we really need to work on the thesis statement,
Right.
or, you know, you need to work on your subject-verb agreement,
Right.
or you have yous all the way through,
Right.
the pronoun you all the way through the paper. We have to work on this.
Right.
So it's not necessarily a proofreading, but it is an educational exercise.
Right. And I can help, and other tutors and instructors too can help students identify what their problem areas are. And I think the reason a lot of students come in and say, hey, will you proofread this, is because they really don't know what it is that they need to work on.
Right.
Because if I say, well, do you have a specific question? They say, well, I really don't know. I just want you to look at it. So again, you know, I can't just edit the paper, but I
Right.
can definitely help identify what they need to work on. So it's perfectly fine to come in and say, will you look at this with me?
Now, math is, of course, very different in that, you know, and I tell students this all the time, the only way to get better at math is to work problems.
Right.
You're not going to be able to just go over a couple of things because, and then get it. Yes, you'll get the overall, but you need to work as many problems as you can. What are the biggest issues that you've noticed, or are there any like main things that you notice that students need to work on?
Well, honestly, a lot of it's self-confidence, and that's what I find. They don't believe that they can do it, so therefore they have mental blocks, and they think, well, I just can't do this. And so I have to tell them, no, you can. If you think you can't, then you won't. But you have to get over that mental roadblock of I can't do it. And if they work enough problems and they build up the confidence, then they
Why
get
shouldn't
over
they?
that, you know. And it's so much fun to watch them do that,
Yes.
you know.
Do you have the people, and this aggravates me, when someone says, oh, I don't do math, or I don't
Yes.
speak math, or I don't, I think that's a cop-out.
It is.
And you use math so much in your everyday life that you don't even realize it. But
Right.
when you say that, and especially if you've got kids or something hearing that, they take up the same mantra, I think.
Exactly.
And there's the whole thing of if you're an English person, you're not good at math, or if you're a math person, you're not good at English, which again, I don't buy.
Right.
But so what advice do you give a student when they're coming in and talking to you and they're really nervous and they're really scared? We have, you know, a lot of returning students, and it's the math that gets them. And they've got one math class that's preventing them from achieving something. What advice do you give them?
I try to build their confidence, and I tell them I'm here for you. You know, we have the tools you need to get better and
take
to
advantage
help.
of them.
Yeah, if you come and you have an open mind, you know, and you're willing to, then anything is possible. So.
And what about English?
I was going to say, I think it's very similar in English because students will say, oh, English is not my strong suit, or I'm just not good at English. And they come into the semester with that attitude. They come into their course with that attitude. They come into the English lab, you know, and it's kind of the same thing. I said, well, you have to practice. You know, the only way to improve your writing is to write. You have to get something on paper or on the screen, and then we'll work on editing, revising, you know.
Well, our biggest thing is we are there for the students, and we offer every opportunity. We can't do it for them, but we can get them as much support as they possibly need. And y'all, we are out of time. And I thank you for doing your great jobs. It's just a pleasure to be with y'all every day and work with y'all.
Thank
So
you.
we're going to have to be on the show. I
Yeah.
want you on the show again. And we're going to have more time.
Definitely.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Meridian Community College. For more than 75 years, we've helped students soar. Establishing the first tuition guarantee program in Mississippi, we put our students first, while creating pathways into the workforce and offering a seamless transition to a 4-year degree. Now is the time to find your purpose and register today, because those who move forward never get left behind. MCC, find your wings.
And we have the wonderful Miss Kim Rush with us today again.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Now you are our, I always mangle this, Director of Advising and Retention.
Yep.
Look at me.
Yes.
Look at me. It only took, what, 14 tries?
That's all.
Now you're here today to talk about something that's coming up with us.
Yes, our holiday term.
Yay.
We are offering a lot of holiday classes. They
Okay.
start December 20th until January 7th. They are all online,
Yes.
which is wonderful. We have AMP1, we have college study skills,
Yay.
we have English composition, college algebra, trig. We have a host of classes of history as well.
Okay.
Again, we have about 30 classes that we'll offer over the holiday term for students who want to get ahead, catch back up, get started in classes early to help them get ready, get prepared for the spring semester.
Now these classes will begin when?
December 20th.
On December 20th
Correct.
and end January
7th.
7th.
Yes.
Okay, so it is a very short term.
Correct.
Okay,
So
but
it's 15 weeks condensed into 3. I tell students it is less time, not less work.
I was about to say,
Yes.
do not think
It's a third
that
of the work.
just because it's that you're going to
Yes.
get away with just doing
Correct.
I'm just going to pick English comp, just to think you're going to get away with one essay.
Yes.
Or you're
Correct.
still going to have to do the same amount of work.
Yes, it's just condensed.
And I don't want to
Definitely.
dissuade anybody
Yes.
because a lot of people have the time and they can do it. I tell
Yes.
them about my class.
Yes.
You have the time, but just make sure that you're doing.
Yes, and you stay on top of things. One of the most important things, especially with a class that's short, come up with a schedule, a good routine. Get up in the morning, get a cup of coffee, get on campus, see what assignments you have. But one of the things I definitely want to stress to students, it is definitely, it is a great opportunity to do, but you also have to stay on top of things.
Yes.
Because if you get behind a 3-week class, it's hard to catch back up in 3 weeks.
And I will say things, also where I've had this conversation with students before where they'll be like, but wait, it's Christmas Day
Yes.
or it's New Year's Day. And I said, look, you signed up for this
Yes.
class for this period of time.
Yes.
I mean, I am not a Grinch or anything like that,
Yes.
but I have to grade this stuff in a timely fashion.
Yes.
It has to be turned in at
Correct.
various intervals.
Correct.
Don't lose sight of that.
Correct. And, online classes don't have holidays, quote unquote. That's what I tell students. Online classes do not have holidays.
If I gotta
it's
be
a
there, you
holiday
gotta be there.
Exactly. We're in this together, right?
We're in this together.
Definitely.
Now, so if a student is interested in a
Yes.
holiday class,
Yes.
in taking a holiday class,
Yes.
what do they need to do?
So, it's numbers of ways they can get online and register themselves if they know how. They don't know who their advisor is. Advising at meridiancc.edu. Give me your name, date of birth. I'll see where you are in the system. If you're a current student, we can register you. If you know how to get onto campus, you can also go to the Advising One-on-One page and be able to email someone directly there as well. You can
Okay.
call us. There's a number of ways.
Okay, so even if you're not a current student,
Correct.
you can still
Correct.
take advantage of this.
Correct. Now, so students have to course apply, and we need your most recent transcript.
Okay.
Yep.
And so you're still going to have to do the stuff
Correct.
to get in and all of
Correct.
that, but you can still take advantage of
Okay,
this.
and we're registering students from different institutions right now for our December term.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Wonderful. Well, like I said, I've taught this holiday class of college study skills for years now, and I always have a number of students, always great students, because they are extremely motivated.
Yes.
And that's what we love. And this, if they take a class in the holiday, this counts toward their spring.
Correct. So it's a lot of students, especially those who play sports or maybe who have things that are coming up in the spring, they'll pick up a class to lighten their load, because again, they don't have to they can take 4 classes in the spring and then 1 class during the 3-week and count for their full hours.
Yes, and so it's a win-win for everybody.
Correct, definitely.
Now, another thing that you've got or you've just found out about recently is a grant.
Yes, so the Women's Foundation of Mississippi. I know, money,
we love
money.
We love money.
Yes, we do. We have, and we are awarded $25,000 for a year to help all of our female 2 generation. I'll tell you what that means. 2 generation is a student who is a mother, someone who is supporting another generation. Usually, more times than not, it is their child. And so it is a mentoring program to give students the extra support, extra resources that they need to be successful in college.
When you say 2 generation, usually it's a child, but could it also be them taking care of a parent or grandparent?
Correct, it can. So
that's
the goal.
Interesting.
It's 2 generation, because we want to, of course, support this student in the generation that is surrounded by them. And so it's a great grant in that it does a laptop. After their first semester of completing the program, the laptop is theirs. So we are gifting them a laptop. They'll have monthly check-ins with their mentor, who is LaShondra Grady. Studies are definitely moving towards that, having someone who is trained, who is a staff member, as far as a mentor, especially after COVID, is more beneficial than maybe having a student as a mentor. And so, but they'll have monthly check-ins with them. They'll have to complete a monthly online lesson, but it's not, it's not too gruesome. And so we just want to definitely tap into the student as they are progressing through their semester classes to make sure that they're successful.
And this money, what can they can use this money? You said they're getting a laptop.
Correct. They're getting a laptop. Every semester they'll get a stipend as well.
Excellent.
And within that grant, we also have emergency funds. Say for example, a student is in the program, they're doing well, but then daycare, if there's an issue with daycare, or there's an issue with their car, or there's an issue they need gas, all types of things.
I do not know how many times I've had students miss my class, and and they're really good students, so I always say, is everything okay? And they'll say, Mr. Martin, I did not have gas money.
Yes.
I mean, something as well, I'm not saying simple, but something as simple as gas money, getting them a $25 gift card for gas or something can mean them getting to school.
And we'll have those readily available, so you don't have to go and come back and you need gas to drive back and forth to figure out what's we have those readily on hand. I do want to point out that the emergency fund is for all students, so you don't have to be in the mentoring program to access the emergency funds.
Okay.
Yeah, because you don't know emergency is going to come, and so it's not fair to say, well, since you're not in the program, you can't access the funds that you didn't know you needed until like March or what have you. So yes.
Okay, well, this is wonderful.
Yes.
And so you said this is a new grant that we've gotten.
Correct.
Okay, because we were dealing with an older grant
before. And we still have that grant as well, Helping Healthy Eagles.
Okay.
And that grant is for students who are in the nursing or nursing adjacent programs.
Okay.
Yes.
I am so glad, because we're going to more of a mentoring system.
Yes.
And we're able to guide, find, like sometimes, as I said, it's just one issue or it's just one thing preventing. And if we can get that and get these people out with a degree and a good job. Oh my gosh.
Like the Helping Healthy Eagle played for 10 NCLEX exams for the fall, and we have 10 more vouchers to give out for the spring.
Wonderful.
Isn't that awesome?
As always,
yes.
Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
And sign up for those holiday classes.
Yes.
And take advantage of this new grant that we've got.
Yes.
I'm going to have you on in the new year.
Yes, please do.
Looking forward to it.
I'll be here.
So will I. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Not essential. Never let anyone tell you that again. Never doubt your abilities to make a difference. How do I know this about you? Because I'm a teacher. I am the one who will push you harder and farther than you could have ever imagined. Teach you things that you never thought possible. And if you will give me 100%, then I will stand shoulder to shoulder with you, and together we will change your future. MCC, find your wings.
And we have the wonderful Miss Jennifer Whitlock. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Now, you are the director of, what is your title exactly?
Director of Adult Education.
Okay. Now, what a big title. And what I mean by that is because I know how much y'all do over there. Now, you're in the, is it the Young, what's the name of the building?
Ralph E. Young Jr.
Yes.
Center for Adult Basic Education.
Okay. And you're in there, and I know that y'all do so much because people come to you to get their, and we still say GED, but it's to get their high school equivalency.
Yes.
And what kind of things do you do? I'm just going to ask you that. Let me just throw a broad question out at you.
As you say, we do high school equivalency. We do the prep classes. We do the actual testing. We're the only official testing center here in Lauderdale County.
Okay.
So we test those students who are wanting to get their high school equivalency diploma. And then the main thing that we do is the prep classes. And so we have classes for anyone from beginner readers to those who didn't get enough credit to finish high school. We take anyone that's 16 years and older.
Okay.
Our oldest student now, I think, is 78 years old, so you're never too old to learn.
You are not.
And so we teach them whatever they need to be prepared to take the high school equivalency test. There are 2 tests now. Most people call it GED.
Yes.
Which is, GED has been around since the 1940s.
Yes.
But we do the GED as well as the high set. The high set is high school completion test.
Okay.
And they both will get you a Mississippi high school equivalency diploma.
Okay. Do we charge people for either or both of these tests?
Yes, we do. The GED is $120, and there are 4 subjects.
Okay.
And then the high set, there are 5 subjects, and it's $88.75. So we just say $89.
Okay.
However, we do have funding available to pay for those.
Okay.
So the only thing that we ask is that if it's our students, of course, we prepare them, and then we give them practice tests to make sure that they're ready.
Sure.
For people that are in the community that does not want to come to our program, we still ask them to come and do a practice test, and if they do well on the practice test, we'll still pay for it. Pay
Okay.
for each subject area that they're ready for.
Okay. Now, do they have to take the whole test at one sitting?
No. It's very seldom that we recommend a student to take the entire test at one time. Most of the time it's too lengthy for them to get it all done in one day. However, some students are on a time crunch, and so we try to get in as much as possible, but that's just not a recommendation because it's a lot of reading, and so therefore, we don't want them to just overexert themselves.
So if a student is watching the show and they're like, I really would love to get my GED, or excuse me, my high school equivalency, excuse me, I'm old. What do they need to do? How do they need to start?
Lots of people just come by, which we welcome that. However, we will be closing as of Tuesday. So we encourage them. Yes. We do encourage them to go to our website, mcc.edu, and we have that information available. But we'll be doing registration for our classes starting in the spring. We do every Friday for a certain length of time, and then we'll start on Friday, January 7th at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
We do that time because it's the time that everybody has, and we set it aside for anybody that needs to come by where we all are available.
Okay.
However, if that time does not accommodate your schedule, just give us a call, and then we'll set something aside for them to come in to do the assessment. People ask, what do we need to do? We'll do a PowerPoint to talk about the program, talk about the campus, the expectations, rules, regulations, and then we do an assessment because, people come from various educational backgrounds.
Sure.
So therefore, we need to get an idea as to if you're, a beginner, if you're a medium student, mid-level student, or if you are higher level students. Once we've determined that, we have them come back in and we do specifics. We give them an assessment to determine the specifics. For instance, in English, we may do a test and it would tell us if they're good at capitalization or sentence development, paragraph development. It just gives us an idea as to how to develop their plan of instruction.
Okay. Now, and before, and I noticed this because I've had family members who have gone through, so many say it's the math.
Yes.
That they are just, that this is this huge mountain that they are scared to climb. How do you calm people down about various subjects that they're very nervous about? If you don't mind me asking, because I know you have. I know you have. You deal with it the way we do in the Success Center. You know, you're dealing with different kinds of students who have, you know, they built up this thing in their head, and it's almost a phobia, and it's very difficult to get through that. How do you get through it?
One thing, excuse me. One thing, we have teachers on site in the program that assist these and teach them just as if they were in a K through.
Absolutely wonderful. Let me
They are
absolutely
absolutely
wonderful.
And that's what they do. That's their job, is to make sure that this student knows and understands. And so the thing is, like I said, we understand that people come from different educational backgrounds. So when we say we'll start at 2 + 2, we'll start at 2 + 2, and we move to algebra, algebraic expressions, wherever we need to be. That's what we do to get that student to wherever they are.
Okay.
We make sure that we've given them the tools, so when we give them a practice test, so they won't go in blind, and then they'll know exactly what they're looking at.
Okay.
And so we make sure that they're prepared, granted that they come to class.
Oh, yes. The same with, yes, you've got to be there.
Yes, you got to come to
be there.
class.
Is there a time limit? Like if you start, okay, if you begin your classes, do you have a certain amount of time that you need to be finished in, you know, to be able to get your degree or your high school equivalency? Yes.
No, that's on you.
Okay, so it could take you.
Right, some people it may take 2 weeks, some people it may take 2 months, some people it may take much, much longer.
Okay.
So it just depends on your background and your academic capability. So therefore, that's why we do the test of the test to determine where their educational level is.
Okay, and you also have different times, like if people can come in the evening, only can come in the evenings, y'all are open some evenings, right?
Yes, we have morning classes, we have afternoon classes, and we have evening classes.
Okay.
And we have just a plethora of things to offer the students. We offer them workforce opportunity, workforce classes opportunities, My Best, where they can get their high school equivalency, as well as work on a college and technical education career. So therefore, there's a lot. So we just ask them to come and see us.
Just come, and then once you sign up, please come to class.
Yes.
Please do what you're supposed to do,
Yes.
because this can open so many doors for you.
Yes, so many doors.
Well, listen, I want to thank you for being here. I know, you love being on television, and we've discussed this many times. I've known her for many years. I love Miss Whitlock, and that group over there, they're just some of the best people in the world.
They
and
are.
I will say that a million times to anybody, because you do such great work over there.
Thank you, Lord.
But I do want to have you on again, and to embarrass you further.
Thank you, Lord.
We'll be right back.
Since 1996, the MCC Foundation Tuition Guarantee Program has provided students an opportunity to find their potential. Thousands of students have benefited from the program. Over $6 million have been invested in the students who learn and live right here in our community. This program is funded by individuals and businesses who believe in our students, our families, and the economic impact of an education at Meridian Community College. Now is your chance to offer support. Give today at meridiancc.edu/give.
On behalf of executive producer Matt Milner, media specialist Josh Taylor, and me, thank you for watching. I hope you learned a little bit, and we'll see you next time.